After a couple of weeks, Prospects of the Land is back. It's a Monday. We are this much closer to spring training in the baseball season. My name is Nate Bope. Over here is Taven McCauley. Down below is Ethan Greenberg. Fellas, are we surviving the snow? Barely? I know Ethan struggling today.
You know what? Here's the thing. We got a fraction of the amount of snow that I'm sure that everybody in Northeast Ohio got. And Nate, I don't know about, in your vicinity, how much snow you got, but we also got a lot of freezing rain, sleet, and ice. So we didn't go, and it was going through, started Saturday, went through yesterday, so we didn't mess with it. And I went out a little bit during my break, from work today, and I'm working on like, this is going nowhere fast. And it's like, okay, I got this crap, what I thought was a good shovel. It's a plastic shovel. It's like cracking and the handle's broken now. But I was like, all right, we'll get the regular, like the old school garden shovel with a metal. We're rolling down there. And it was a team effort, guys. It was a team effort. I got done, I went back out and I was like, all right, let me try and get some more in. And I was like, I got to come back and check work. And then my son comes out at like 3:30 and we didn't get done till just after like 6:15, 6:20. So it was a long project. Thank goodness my wife came out and my daughter came out eventually, eventually, and we all got through it. So it was not near as bad as what's up there. But down here, the problem is not only are your driveways, so you got to deal with that stuff. So my advice to you all as you become adults, think about living in somewhere like a condo where snow removal and is included, yard work included. It's no shame. It's no shame. It doesn't take away from your man card. Or if you've got enough money to pay someone to do these things, then I would suggest that as well. So you don't. It's no badge of honor to be like, I out there digging up some snow. I'm gonna be sore tomorrow, guys. It's gonna suck. And then they don't have the resources for snow removal. So the main roads, they get dealt with, but neighborhoods, they don't touch.
Nope.
They don't touch them. So they will sit. And I guarantee we may have gotten like 3 inches of snow in total and maybe 4 when you add in the freezing rain, sleet, ice, whatever it is. My kids won't go to school this week, I bet.
Wow.
I bet they'll be out of school the entire week because our school district is the entire county. And the county has rural areas as well as suburban, and those rural areas, they ain't getting over there. So if one part of the county isn't prepared, so good luck for that. Tough break for them. Yeah. So that was a longer answer than you expected, but there we go. How you guys doing?
It's all right. Well, from working in the newsroom, I've learned that the Department of Transportation, whoever the heck is going to take care of these things, they're going to focus on the main roads first, and then if they feel like it, maybe they'll go pave a street or two. And
I feel like it was.
I'm bored. I'm hungry.
I feel like it was it was always like the worst when you'd see the truck come through in the middle of the night or late. Like, dang it, they're getting through. It's like, how are we going to get school canceled tomorrow? Son of a. Now I'm like, come on, can we get out? Can you clear the road so we can get out of the neighborhood, folks?
Interesting how perspectives change.
Yeah.
Taven, what about you? Did you do any snow shoveling?
Yeah, so started for about 20 minutes. Then luckily, lucked out. My neighbor came over with a snow blower, and he tore through that in about 15 minutes.
I would use some very choice words if we were not on air with you. I
would have been out there for a while, but yeah, he's saved me, so that's good. But yeah, like you said, had the day off school today, have it off tomorrow. The roads aren't too bad for obviously tomorrow. I think it's more so cold days or whatever, so I think we might actually luck out. Thursday, Friday's 50-50 chance too, so
it's a wind chill day tomorrow.
Yeah, whole week could be a 1-day week for
not that is nice
over Perry. But
the best thing ever was the January of 94, we got hit with like record cold temperatures and took us out a week. And I didn't have like the end of the first semester exams because they canceled them because we were out all week. I'm like, wow. So that was nice, but
that's unreal.
Anyway, I digress.
I was outside shoveling snow for 2.5 hours.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Something like that. When you mash it all together with all my breaks. I mean, so I live in like a little town home thing. It's like a house that's split into a bunch of different little living areas and apartments, and I park in a parking lot. Well, I was like 5 stalls down in the parking lot, so I had to dig a path for not only my car but the 2 other cars that were in that lot with me. I had to dig a path from my car behind their car all the way out to the road because I run morning news. I got to get to the station at like 3 a.m. We don't love it, but we do it, and hey, it is what it is, right?
Hey, did I share the story of me and being the news guy in my first radio job?
No, but hey, you know what? You do what you got to do, and it actually is not too bad.
I couldn't even. It was the worst thing. I was horrible. My version of the news was to pick up the Canton repository and pull the stories from there and then make a report out of it.
You're giving away secrets. You're giving away secrets.
It was the dumbest thing ever.
Secrets.
I don't even think I got reimbursed for having to pay for the newspaper every day.
Well, that sounds like your own fault there, buddy.
Dude, well, that's all right. That's okay. I couldn't stay awake anyway. I fell asleep a lot of the mornings after I was done doing what I'd sit there and anyway, I digress.
Yeah. We might have gotten a foot of snow.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Haven, is that pretty similar up there?
That, if not more. I mean, yeah, it was probably 1.5 feet.
That's insane.
If I had to guess, I don't know.
That's unreal. That is absolutely unreal. Wow.
That is
Snowmageddon.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, we hope all of you are staying warm and safe and all of that. Hopefully you have a snowblower. Hopefully you're not out there shoveling snow like us fools. So, but guys, we are this much closer to baseball. Can you believe? Less than a month now. Less than a month. We're going to have pitchers and catchers, and soon enough, everybody is going to be reporting to spring training officially for our team, the Cleveland Guardians. That is going to start on February 21st, and it is going to be split squad. So there will be a game against the Reds and the Brewers to open up spring training. So nice little split squad action. We love the split squad days, by the way.
You're a fan of the split squad?
I actually do. I like the split squad.
Okay, let me ask you this, guys. We invite how many guys get invited to spring training? I'm sure you know the number off the top of your head.
I do not. Honestly.
Isn't it technically everybody, but only a handful of guys actually play in the games?
Yeah, I think everybody goes down there to work out, but like Taven says, I think it's a certain number of guys that actually work out. Now, I think I could be very off base in that because, I mean, there probably are some of these guys that they're not going to invite to spring training, but you're going to see pretty prevalent in the minors and things, and they're still going to work out at a complex or whatnot. I think technically everybody goes to the complex, but to be invited to spring training, that's the technical definition for, hey, if you're going to play in some of these games.
Right. I mean, I don't know how many Willie Mays Hayeses are out there, and they're going to be, coming in and, jumping out of their bed and running in their pajamas in the 40-yard dash or whatever it is. But I wonder, you get those games, the split squads, as you said. How many of those dudes are actually going to make the roster? Like, what are we doing here? We've got enough work. Don't we have enough to work on? Is this like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, we look at the NFL, we look at the Browns, and we sit there and we complain because they're not practicing enough and they don't play enough preseason games, or when they're in the preseason games, they're not out there doing it. I know the baseball season is 162 games, but you can't tell me that more at bats for Bo Naylor wouldn't be beneficial for him.
I think the split squad technically would help that out, right?
Well, no, you don't play the guys that aren't going to be in the majors. Send their ass to Akron. Let's go. I'm serious. Like, you got to play I know what you're saying. I get it. If you have more games, you have more opportunities to play. Right. But I feel like at the end of the day, we've got to get our guys in better position. I know I don't want to, go too far astray here because I know what our main topic is, but do we have any feeling or sense of what our hitting is going to be like? If it's going to improve, have we done anything?
Well, we're going to circle back to that.
Okay.
So you just got a nice little preview there from Ethan Greenberg. But like you said, we know what our main topic is. Hell, everybody watching this is going to know what the main topic is. It's Jose. Okay.
Yep.
It's Jose. 7 years, I think 175 million. Am I getting that figure right? They basically stripped him of his old extension, put on a brand new one. Now he is contracted through 2032. By the time he is 40 years old, by the way, probably going to end up being his career, if not maybe a couple years after that. But he's locked up. He is a Clevelander for life. And Taven, I was talking to Ethan before this, so I want to start with you with this. And I'm going to share my take about this right away. We obviously know that this is a great deal. There is absolutely no debating that. We'll talk about why in a second. But we are going to see absolutely nobody in the history of ever across any sport take this friendly of a deal to a team to stay where he's at, especially in a small market. And the example I give is, look, you've seen Kevin Durant leave Oklahoma City, take less money to go to Golden State to build that super team. Jose is taking less money to be right where he's at in a small market team with, in the sport of baseball, a low payroll. That's never going to happen again, ever.
I mean, yeah, like you said, I mean, he's a guy that can easily go out there and make $40 million a year. I mean, there's no doubt about it. The Dodgers want to pay him, the Yankees, the Mets, it doesn't matter. He's going to go out there. He's going to make top 5 player money because MLB came out with a list, top 5 or, top whatever they rank, maybe, I don't know what it was, 50 players going into the season. Jose was 5 on that list. So obviously he's a top 5 player. Everybody thinks so. And like you mentioned, I mean, the whole Kevin Durant thing, gosh, we had LeBron James grow up 30 minutes down the road, and he leaves over a guy who's not even from the United States. He comes in, gets, want to say international signing with Jose, and then just stays. I mean, you're never going to see a guy like this take what he's done. And obviously, we talked about the interview last time that he had, that came out saying nobody's ever booed him in this stadium. And I think that's a huge part of it. It's not obviously the money for him. He's come out, he said that you're never going to find a guy like that, in my opinion, in all of sports, not just baseball. And the Guardians are just lucky to have him. And it's a shame that even with everything, right? Like he's staying through the Dolans, not giving him any help whatsoever. It just the bad way. I mean, you could go on and on about every single factor and excuse for him to leave. And I don't think anybody would have blamed him if he would have went to, the Dodgers for $40 million. If, he didn't get any help, which I don't see happening. What the Dolans need to do now. And if I'm Jose Ramirez, I'm saying, look, and this is going to sound a lot harder, which in reality it shouldn't be, but it's hard for the Dolans. If I'm Jose, I'm saying, look, I'm going to take this pay cut. You know what I should be making. Now use that money that I should be making to go extend a guy like Kwan or bring somebody in and get him a little bit of help. You got to use that money that he should be making. You can't just sit on it. I know that's what they're going to do, but common sense would tell you use the $17 million that should be added on to the 25, and you go out and you extend Stephen Kwan.
Now,
I had forgot about the Kwan
thing
thing
too. Yes. So, Taven, sorry for the interruption. I have a question that I really want thoughts on, and I'll give my opinion too. Ethan, I want to start with you because you're always the fiery one out of us three. Does this show you that the Guardians look like they have money and okay, like, can we do something with it? Or is it just, a simple case in the fact that, look, they're doing what they have to do to keep their best player around? What does the Guardians, in all the talk of go sign this guy, go get that guy, go spend some freaking dollaroonies, and now they do that? What does that tell you?
Actually, I got a theory on that. So we all have talked about the potential for a labor stoppage after this season.
Yep.
We also know that there's a minority owner in the waiting, potentially, in David Blitzer.
Yep.
Do you think the Dolans are like, you know what? Not our problem after that. By the time this is done, won't be our problem.
And hasn't that been brought up on this show before? I feel like that's a good case, because I think even I made the point, and I'm kind of half with you, and I might be half with what Taven is about to say, but I believe that there are some owners out there, maybe the Dolans, maybe John Fisher, maybe some of these other owners that just go, all right, have fun.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's what you want as a Cleveland fan, right? You want Dolan out of there no matter what it takes. I mean, he's one of, if not the worst owner in all of sports, right? I mean, there's obviously other guys like him, right? But if you're not going to spend, I mean, at least $100 million, you shouldn't be able to own a team, and that's on the cheaper side of things. As much as I want to say that I think he's going to be like, hey, this is your problem now, we're out, we're done, I have a really bad feeling that this is just going to stay in the business or stay in the family, whether it's him, whether it's his kids. I think it's going to be unfortunately handed down. Now, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm very wrong, but unfortunately, I just don't see him just selling the team. Obviously, it's a smart thing for everybody involved. He doesn't want to spend money. He gets out of that spot. I just don't see it.
Let's see. Oh, wait. Let's see. We got a comment here. Wait a second. What?
That's funny.
That's hilarious. We got the comments pulled up here. Anyway.
Taven's working on it.
All right.
Yeah, I can't even see him. It says can't post commas to some destinations. Huh.
What the frick?
Oh, well. Who cares?
Whatever. Anyway. Go ahead, Nate.
So I'm kind of split down the middle between you two. So my prediction came true. I'm half like, look, Dolan's just going to take it and be like, all right, you deal with it now. You have your superstar. Go have fun with the rest. Or he could be like, hey, we got our superstar. Let's wait and see what happens with this thing. And maybe not likely. Maybe we'll spend money depending on what the CBA does if I like it. Again, really hard to tell and predict anything because, again, we don't even know what the owners want in the CBA. We don't know what the players want in the CBA, and we've hashed this all out before. There's no reason to go back to it. There's that nice little thing. But back to the original question on, does this show you that they got money? Black and white? Yeah, it does. It shows you they got the money, which I think is why... Look, we're about to talk about how great a deal this is for Jose in literally 90 seconds. But why this is so frustrating to Cleveland fans, why this is undeniably one of the most frustrating things and situations in sports, is they show you got the money. Like the soundbite that Ethan plays all the time does not ring true because they have the money. They have the money. So,
no. They told us this already.
Have the money, okay? I do not have the money, okay?
You liar!
No, that is the frustrating thing. They just showed us they got the money. Or maybe that soundbite is right. And I find this highly unlikely. I think, that they went to Jose and they were like, look, man, we can't pay you what they're worth. BS, okay? You can absolutely pay Jose what he's worth. The net worth of everybody in this ownership room is nearly $4, maybe even $5 billion. Okay, you have the money. That's what makes this so unbelievably frustrating is, look, you have to pay a guy like Jose Ramirez. Okay, well, that's the case. You have to pay a guy like Steven Kwan, too.
And I think the biggest
maybe
thing
that's the only other person on this roster that's worth it, but they have the money. That's what's frustrating.
I think the biggest thing with that is, I mean, if you look at like a team like the Dodgers and then he's coming to you saying, I want paid, you could be like, hey, we're paying all these guys. We don't have the money to pay you. There's nobody on this roster that's making anything. I mean, Tanner Bybee's making what, $10 million, and you got
No,
guys
they're all
here
on
and
rookie
there.
contracts.
But I mean, you're not paying anybody. So there should be no excuse why you shouldn't be able to go out and sign Jose to whatever he wants. And then, especially since he took that discount and has been taking that discount, Quan, right there. He's right there for you to sign.
Ethan, anything to add?
No, I really don't. I think that they, like you guys have mentioned, I mean, we need to use the money. We do need to get Quan locked up. And as we talked about before, the fact of the matter is, it seems like by the end of the season, he's running out of gas. And we got to help this guy. And Jose, for that matter. We need to help these two out. They are the best players in our lineup by a country mile. And we have got to find some consistency to support these guys. It has to be that has to be a priority for them. I think that we always make some nice moves. We have a pitching factory of sorts going on. Can we find the hitting factory? Whatever it is, whatever the magic elixir is, they've got to do something. And I'm hoping they will, in fact, continue to invest in this ball club because, quite honestly, fans show up. Fans are invested in this team. And just like any professional sport, it's kind of a slap in the face when the team, the ownership, takes the attitude that they are not going to put out the best product they possibly can or do every single thing they can. I know we can't keep up with the Joneses, as it were, to use the term figuratively, like the Dodgers. But I love what they've done. Bottom line, I like that they've made this. This was a surprise move. I was like,
yeah.
I hear this news and they're like, whoa.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This is a bargain. What a bargain and pleasant news when we need it so badly. So definitely good.
Well, let's talk about that bargain, shall we? So the restructured contract includes annual salaries of $25 million. I don't believe that's an estimate. Like, I don't think he's making 23 one year, then 26 the next, and 21 the next. Like, I think it's 25 million straight. So an easy number to work with. You know what you're going to get from Jose Ramirez every year. That starts next year, runs through 2032 until he's 40 years old. By the way, with $10 million deferred every year. There you go, Guardians. The Dodgers aren't the only one that can defer some money in today's MLB. Now, you can even ask and go back to the thing like, okay, is this deferring money thing? We can have arguments about that. And could that also be the Dolans just saying, yeah, you can pay that $70 million later. Go.
We're gonna have Jose Ramirez Day, and that's unlike Bobby Bonilla Day for the Mets. Maybe. I mean, is this salary deferment thing the biggest bunch of horse crap ever? Loophole in the system.
I mean, it's absolutely a loophole in the system, and I have no problem with people exploiting that. That's, sports is all about sportsmanship versus gamesmanship. That is gamesmanship, my friend. You're playing the game the way that nobody thinks you should, but hey, maybe it's the way that people oughta. Maybe.
Yeah, seriously.
That's what that includes. But Ethan, you were the first one to bring up in our little pre-stream meeting here that there are some extra benefits with this contract.
This is fantastic. I was like, well, this is nice. Not only now the normal stuff, no trade clause. All right, sweet, good deal. He's not gonna allow us just to trade him to like whomever. If he's gonna get traded, he's gonna have to agree to it, right?
Yep.
But some of his perks includes private jet travel for the All-Star game, additional hotel rooms on road trips and a suite, and I see double award bonuses, including $500K for the MVP and $300 for second, third place finishes. But I mean, hey, this guy's gonna be living large on the road. Nice. I'm all about that. All well deserved. I hope they give him unlimited room service as well. How many other bottles of whatever he'd like, and all the Gatorade and bubble gum and anything he likes? You fix this guy. This dude, by the time we're done, I could see him having a statue. If
I think
Jim Thome has a
to.
statue, he's got to
I
have a
think
statue.
already has to.
You know, yeah, he could retire tomorrow. And
Yeah,
I think,
I agree.
all right, let's start putting it up. Now, I'm going to save that topic for another day. And I want all of us one day before the season starts to pitch what the Jose Ramirez statue should be. Or maybe it's
Down goes Anderson.
Maybe it's a moment that hasn't even happened yet. I'm going to throw in the caveat, no, down goes Anderson. Not only because do I think we all would agree on that, but because it's also probably the most unrealistic one that we would put up there. I don't know that they would do
They
that.
wouldn't. There's
It'll
no
be
way.
it'll be the helmet count. What is it? Running down the line and the helmet flying off, and maybe something along those lines. Like
Maybe.
that guy hauls ass every time.
Yeah.
He is honestly an embodiment of kind of a blue collar mentality that there is in Northeast
Whoa,
Ohio.
I like that.
He fits the general population and vicinity and the area. He busts his ass. I don't ever question his work ethic. There are guys who you go, what the bleep are you doing out there? And can you try a little harder? This guy, nah, I don't question him. He plays hurt. He wants to be out there. He is just good. Heck of a guy. And I hope fans really, really, really do appreciate him because, again, the players come and go so often, and to find someone who wants to be here and is willing to stick around and maybe take less money, that is rare. That is so rare. As we see all these other contracts get handed out like candy on Halloween, I mean, this guy to stick around is just incredible. I really, really appreciate it and hope that the fans do as well. He's just a joy to watch, and I really hope that they support this guy and do some other stuff. Maybe he can host some. He could say, "Come to the hotel." And he'll have them hang out in the hotel and show them how great the organization is. Look at how well they take care of me. Maybe you should come play here. Look at the fans. Do some recruiting.
I was gonna say pull a Trey Taylor thing. None of you are gonna know who this is. Well, maybe you do. I would be really impressed. Trey Taylor is a Nebraska quarterback commit who transferred from a high school in Illinois to go play at Millard South, and now he's recruiting other Nebraska commits from around the country to go play at Millard South and build like a Nebraska commit super team. Maybe Jose Ramirez does that for Cleveland. We'll see.
Maybe.
Any other thoughts on Jose Ramirez? I mean, bottom line, team-friendly deal, amazing deal. Came as a shock to all of us and the baseball world, but I mean, such a good deal for this organization, such a good deal for this team. Their star is locked up. He's going nowhere, ever, and that's the way that we like it.
Yeah, 1,000%. That's exactly what needed to be done. I know we've talked about it a couple times. Like, look, it's coming up. We're almost here. And the fact that they just got it done, it's obviously great. So,
well, these next two topics that we got for you today will not be as long, but there are a couple of pretty major minor signings that this team has done. Let's go ahead and put it that way. So they have put a couple guys on minor league rosters. For all intents and purposes, all these guys are probably going to wind up in Columbus. That's just probably where they're all going to wind up based off of their pedigree. All born right around the same time, kind of freaky that way, but they at very least will push for a spot in the major leagues with some of the players that we've talked about on previous shows. Let's go through them right now. So we'll go player by player. Let's start with Cody Hoyer. Let's start with this pitching factory. He's a right-handed pitcher, guys, that, by the way, stands at 6'5", 200 pounds. So the dude is just built like a baseball pitcher. Last season, I'm trying to, well, if my stat sheet is going to work here.
Well, so is he a stick or is he a pencil thin or is he more meaty? Is he, what do you say? 6'5", 6'6", and 200? 200 for a guy 6'5", 6'6" is not that heavy, quite honestly.
BMI is low. BMI is low, but BMI is also overrated. He did not pitch a lot in 2025 in the majors. He only played in 3 games, pitched 1 1/3 innings with Texas, ended up, I believe, getting traded and dealt over to Detroit, where he pitched 3 1/3 innings. And that was it. That was his entire major league season. Now in the minors, this is going to be the important thing here. And I might actually end up pulling this stuff up on my phone because my computer is not liking whatever is happening right now.
Well, it must be the cold. I think it's affecting the
it's affecting everything. It sucks.
It is possible. But I mean, more pitching, that's no surprise.
All right. Well, my computer's unfrozen, but I'm not going to try to even mess with it. Okay. In the minor leagues, so weirdly enough, did not pitch in 2024 and has sort of bounced up and down. But last year, pitched in 35 games for the AAA. I believe it was the AAA. Ooh, no. That would have been AAA. Where did I just say that he came from? AAA Texas, and then pitched a lot there. Pitched 35 games for AAA Texas, which I think is like Rocky Road or something like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just hungry and I need some ice cream. But 35 games for him, 39 1/3 innings, gave up 36 hits, 18 runs, 15 of them earned off 4 homers in 713 pitches, hit 3 batters, walked 15 guys while striking out 53. So
that's a good ratio. That's a good ratio.
And let me tell you, when the Guardians sign pitchers like this, they always find a redeeming quality. That's his redeeming quality throughout his entire year in the minor leagues last season at the AAA level. 44 games, 3.14 ERA, 48 2/3 innings. Numbers are pretty, similar, just added on a couple of things. But the biggest thing here, 62 strikeouts to just 17 walks. Taven, we're probably going to see this guy fit into Columbus right away. But the question that we're going to ask with all of these guys is, do you think he can push for a spot on the big league club?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that bullpen's pretty open at the moment, right? There's another guy on that list that you're going to name a little later. He's obviously going to be in the running too. He has been in that role. But I think outside of your core guys of Cade Smith, Hunter Gaddis, a couple other guys in there that I can't think, Eric Sabrowski, I think it's pretty much open for those last 2-3 spots of who they're going to roll with. Another guy that in that running is Peyton Pallett, the Rule 5 draft from Chicago. Obviously, they've seen a redeeming quality in him too, so they're going to work with him. And out of these guys that they're bringing in, I just think it's going to be whoever can show first off, just whatever they're able to do out on the mound and productivity, and B, just are they going to be able to work with them and just how they've adapted to, what the pitching coaches and Carl Willis and everybody else, Brad Goldberg, they're going to be able to do with them. So I think I think it's pretty open. I think it's going to be a race for those last 2-3 spots when, the spring training's all said and done.
Cody Hoyer, by the way, pitch mix usage in 2025. Again, this is a very low sample size. 49% slider, 44% four-seam fastball, 7% changeup. So he's got that 3-pitch mix, really likes that slider. New age Emmanuel Clase? Probably not, but he's got a very similar pitch mix, and we just hope that he doesn't gamble. Ethan, same question. From everything that you've heard, I know you're not as much into the prospect scene, but from everything you've heard, do you feel like that this is a guy that is going to make a push to get into the bullpen? And before you answer that, averages around 49.5 on his fastball.
49.5? 49.5.
49.5 miles per hour.
40. Wait. What?
Sorry, 94.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
Okay.
I'm like,
thank you.
49.5. Okay. Okay.
That should be pitching T-ball.
Yeah, something like that. No, I think it's one of those things where if he's got the stuff, we'll see him. Whether it's to start the season or not, I don't know.
Yep.
We've talked about it before, and as Taven pointed out, there were guys that moved around, and there's potential flexibility in that bullpen. These dudes, they certainly know how to identify guys that should be pitching. So I am thinking that if he's got this kind of stuff, whether it's to start the season or not, we will see him in Cleveland at some point, as you guys have, said. And, obviously, like you said, you follow the prospects much more closely. You know what you're talking about. And if a dude can pitch, they're going to find a way to get him up there, and they're going to use him. They need that bullpen to be loaded up because we know that is the strength of this team.
By the way, looking at the pitch mix here, I love Baseball Savant so much. To right-handed hitters, loves that slider down and away. Loves to throw it in that bottom right-hand corner if you're looking from the umpire's perspective. So loves that slider down and away. It seems like he's a big chase guy. That's obviously me not digging into the numbers that much. Well, here you go. I just found the numbers. As far as his chase rate goes, 32.7%, which even given the low sample size was in one of the higher percentiles in Major League Baseball. Same thing with his whiff percentage. So if Cleveland can develop him, which I don't really think there's a question about it, you're going to have a guy in this bullpen that's going to be big on swings and misses, going to get you a lot of ground outs too. His ground ball percentage, 50%, which is really high. Really high. Taven?
Yeah, just think it's another guy that obviously they're going to work with. We've seen guys like this all the time that, maybe don't have the highest ceiling, but they come in and, they work with them and then they're great, right? Obviously, Pedro Avila, a couple years ago, we've seen him. We've seen, other guys. I mean, even Sabrowski, when he got up there, I mean, he was never a highly thought of prospect, but he gets up there and obviously he's doing big things now. So, yeah, this guy seems like he's got all the tools to really be successful, but we'll see what he can do as spring training.
Well, you mentioned the name of the guy we're about to talk about next. So let's go to Mr. Pedro Avila, because the 2023 playoff legend Pedro Avila is back with the club. Or sorry, 2024 legend. I'm thinking way too far back. 2024 legend Pedro Avila is back with the club. We obviously know he can throw just about everything, right? Fastball, changeup, cutter, sinker, slider, starting to throw some new pitches into there as well. And he loves his off-speed stuff, right? And his barrel percentage is really low. He pitches around guys. He's not really going to wow you with a bunch of stuff. But Ethan, let's start with you on this one. Personally, I like the move to bring him back. How much time is he going to see in the major leagues? Depends, because this bullpen, if everyone develops, Hoyer sees sometimes everyone in the bullpen, maybe some more than others have better showings than they did last season. Do you feel like Pedro Avila is now returning to the club, going to be a player for this team?
No, I do, because obviously he's shown he's got the stuff, or they wouldn't bring him back. I mean, this team is so, for as much as we crap on them about how much they spend, we know what they do well, and one of the things they do well is developing pitching and bringing in these guys. They've obviously seen enough out of him. We've seen enough out of him, so I'm real good with that. I think that's excellent. You need someone who's experienced in the bullpen. Yeah, I've got good feelings about that. I guess that's the best way I can put it. I think he'll be a contributor, and hopefully he's able to go out there and again fortify the bullpen.
We'll get the number right this time. 93.4 on his fastball, and averages 93 on his sinker, which, again, these are usage rates in 2024 because he didn't pitch much, if at all, I don't think, in the major leagues last season. So Taven taking a year off from major league time. This guy's improved pretty much every season he was in Cleveland. What do you think about the move to bring him back?
Yeah, I love it. I mean, a guy that everybody seemed to love, right? From the fans to the guys in the clubhouse. Inning eater, right? Obviously, that was his big thing, and I think that's what he's going to continue to do, right? You're going to throw him into a scenario kind of like you saw with Joey Cantillo last year. And I think he's going to be able to knock out 2 to 3 really good innings for you, especially when the bullpen might be a little knocked up at times. If Gaddis and Cade Smith are 3 days or, 2-3 days into the games, I think he's going to be able to go there and really just give you some good stuff. I love everything that he's about. Obviously, the good pitch mix. So I like it a lot. Bringing back a fan favorite, can't complain there. And like I said, I mean, I think it's just going to be a battle for those last couple of spots, and I think he's another name to throw into that battle. Wouldn't say, he's a for sure thing in that bullpen. I like him a little. I like him a lot better than some of the other choices. I will say that, but I do think it's going to be a battle for him to get in the, that bullpen.
And again, a full year since he's seen major league time. Last major league time was with the Guardians in 2024. Didn't pitch in the majors last year. You obviously mentioned Peyton Pallette. We've talked about him a little bit here on the show, but why not? Let's go ahead and sign him in, because like these other three pitchers, he's going to end up being a guy that's absolutely going to be in play here. So works around 94 to 96 with his fastball. Again, only got minor league stats, and Baseball Savant doesn't keep track of stuff like that. But what we can tell you is over the course of his career in the minors, 23 to 25, obviously was in the White Sox organization. 4.20 ERA, nice. Has allowed, let's see, what's strikeout to walk? Strikeout to walk is really good. Really good. 259 strikeouts to only 103 walks. Now, that rate did go up a little bit last year, as did the whip, as did some of the other numbers. But obviously, the Guardians see the redeeming qualities in him. That's exactly why that they pulled him from the Rule 5 draft. So, quick thoughts on him, because again, not as intriguing a name to me as Cody Hoyer or Pedro Avila, obviously coming back. I think Pallette is a shoo-in to see major league time at some point this season.
Yeah, I think, like you said, I mean, eventually he'll see some time this season, right? I don't know if it'll be to start or what. Just got to make room in that bullpen and see. Obviously, whoever's not playing, they're going to send down. I mean, the leash has not been very long when it comes to relievers, and if you don't perform, you're going to be down
starters.
In Columbus.
Look at Doug Nikhazy last year.
And I think that's I would say a plus for the Guardians. I mean, they have that depth to where you're able to do that. You don't have to stick with a guy, if he's not performing. And I think we're going to see Pallette come up. I like what he has, right? I mean, we haven't seen, obviously, any major league time out of the guy. AAA last year for the White Sox, so we'll see what he's able to do. But again, another name, just toss in that hat where it's going to be a battle. That's all I'm saying, is it's going to be a battle coming into those last two spots.
Ethan, anything?
Nah, I mean, you guys have said it all there. I mean,
sure.
It is what it is.
Well, let's get off the bump and let's move to the diamond, shall we? Let's start infield. Actually, let's start outfield. This is going to be a more familiar name to a lot of you baseball savants out there, but Stuart Fairchild is a Cleveland Guardian. Now, you don't recognize the name. That's okay. I'll go ahead and tell you where he has been previously. Was drafted by the Cincinnati Reds. Played last season with Atlanta. In 2022, bounced around everywhere. He was with Seattle, then with San Fran. Actually got drafted by Cincinnati, then was traded or signed. I'm pretty sure he was traded somewhere else to Arizona, is where he made his major league debut, and then was traded back to Cincinnati, where, I mean, he had some of the best seasons of his career there with the Reds. And last season in the majors, had 28 games for the Atlanta Braves, 51 at-bats, 11 hits. That is a 216 batting average. He had a 273 on-base percentage, a 606 OPS. Not the greatest there, but he is an outfielder. So he gives you a guy in this room, experienced player, seen some good flashes out of him. To me, most likely will start that season in Columbus, but I don't believe he's on a World Baseball Classic roster, which means you are going to end up seeing him a lot in spring training, and he explodes. Maybe he's a sneaky pick to land on the 26 man. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now. At the very least, a sneaky pick to get on the 40-man roster. Taven, we've seen Stuart Fairchild bounce up and down all around the majors. What do you make of this guy, by the way, 5'11", 205?
Yeah, I mean, in the field, he's as good as they come. I love this dude in the outfield. I mean, he's amazing. When it comes to the bat, hasn't really had a lot of success. Kind of reminds you of a Miles Straw in a way, right? He'll hit you 215, 220.
We're supposed to inspire confidence, and Ethan cringed.
I mean, a Miles Straw's not a terrible thing, right? Because we've seen flashes out of him at times, right? It's just with the bat. When it comes to everything else, this dude is absolutely amazing, right? He runs the bases amazing. The outfield, the glove, it's great. It's just the bat. And is he going to be able to figure it out in the box? Now, he has in the past. I mean, he's hit 235, 240. I don't really see him getting much more out of the bat than that. But as a utility guy, I think it's a solid signing, a guy to just plug in there. And, I could see flashes out of him at times. So.
And he'd be a utility outfielder. And
right.
By the way, to add on to your point, in the major leagues, has not made an error since 2023. Ethan.
Yep.
Oh, now you just jinxed it, Nate. Come on, man.
My desk is made of wood. We figure this out when we buy the desk.
Well, that's important. That is very important. I mean, it's for real, dude. The broadcaster jinx is for reals. You jinxed him. I'm really upset. I'm very disappointed in you, sir.
It's my job to inform the people. Okay, like it is your job to inform the people.
You have to do it in the right way. You have to do it
as a broadcaster. Is the no-hitter perfect? You never say that.
You got to do it the right way. No, I think that from what I'm seeing, his stats, certainly his ability to run the bases, could be a great asset. He's it appears he's in his career. I'm reading, from what I can see in the stats, he's 25 out of 32 in stolen base attempts. And I think there was in a 2-year span, maybe 2023-24, he stole 23 out of 27. So I like that. And that, again, that Miles Straw comparison is not bad other than
I think it's a really good one.
No, it's a good comparison. But what I'm saying is, the issue is, and this is what I was talking about and referring to at toward the beginning of the podcast, right, is what are we doing to improve hitters? What work is being done? Even if you don't sign guys, you mean to tell me that it's acceptable that these guys continue to hit at the level and average they hit at? What are we doing?
I mean, look, when you look at things logistically, we need outfielders. We need outfielders with major league experience.
Sure.
That if some of the experiments don't work out, at least you have a guy that you can plug in there,
sure,
and is not going to hit 150 with 100,000 strikeouts and so on and so forth. So Stuart Fairchild, by the way, Jeremy Larquente agrees. Excellent comparison to Miles Straw. Beautiful, especially a guy that's been in the organization. So a guy that Cleveland fans are going to know, and a guy that, like Ethan did, a lot of fans are going to be like, really? We signed another one? All right. Well,
I mean, when are we going to find our next Kenny Lofton? Can somebody find me a Kenny Lofton?
You're fishing an empty pond there, buddy.
Well, no, but that's the point. That's the point, fellas. Why? Why is it unrealistic for them to find somebody who can play like that? Why?
Well, Ethan, if you do find somebody that plays like that, you got a small window before they're gone.
And that goes back to the original discussion of them saying,
I do not have the money. Okay.
I mean, this is ridiculous, guys. We can't. I'm beating my head against the wall. I want legitimate players. Either that or you got to coach them better.
Yeah.
You got to do a better job training them. Right? What are they doing? You mean to tell me it's okay for a guy to hit 215 every effing year?
It's not.
Get the heck out of here. If I did my job that poorly, I'd be fired.
Well, I think this year it's going to be a lot less of the guys that you bring in. I think it's going to be a lot of them counting on the prospects that you have and just hoping that they develop with your Valeras, your Collatters, and your Bazana when he eventually comes up.
Yeah, let's hope so.
So Ethan's frustration, to put this into context, is fully understood, and it's realized by every fan of this organization, okay? They need to go out and sign somebody eventually. But what at the very least you have here with Stuart Fairchild is if you try to play Jonathan Rodriguez again next year and he bombs again. All right, gone. You try to play Angel Martinez and he just doesn't have as great a season as he did last year. Okay, gone. Then you have a guy that you can bring up. You can play him wherever you need to. He's played right. He's played left. He's played center. At the very least, defensively at an elite level in many different places in Major League Baseball. He's not a solution. He's a safety valve.
Yeah. Fair. I like the way you put that as a safety valve. Can we send Nolan Jones on the next space mission?
Conversation for a different day. We got one more player that I want to bring up here. And Taven, if you have any other guys, I mean, I'll go through some new signings if anyone jumps out to you.
Yeah.
Do that. Carter Kieboom. Let's talk about this guy for a second.
Yeah. Boom.
This guy, well, we're going to hope that he goes Kai Boom a lot.
Dude,
but
that would be an amazing thing. If he goes Kai Boom, Tom Hamilton, or maybe Jim Rosenhaus. Oh, Kai Boom with a blast to deep right field.
So, as far as Major League time goes, was with the Nationals for a long time. Most games he has ever played was 62 games. That was in 2021 with the Washington Nationals. That season, hit 207, 6 homers, 20 RBI. So he does have the pop in his bat. Last season, only played 3 games for the Los Angeles Angels or the Anaheim Angels, whomever you would like to refer to them as. Spent most of his season in the AAA level of the Pacific Coast League, in which he did this. In 93 games, 319 batting average for him, slugged 9 homers with 57 RBIs. By the way, that's 118 hits in 370 at-bats. The OPS was over 800. He was doing great, 11 stolen bases, so a guy that you can prove to run the base paths. Only problem with him is strikeouts, right? 76 strikeouts to 30 walks. However, when you put in context, 76 strikeouts, 93 games, okay, you can work with under a strikeout per game, but that's what the Guardians saw. The Guardians saw the pop that he had in his bat, him hitting everything. And look, he primarily plays third base, and there's no way that he's going to fit into Cleveland because we just talked about the guy who's going to play the hot corner for the rest of his life. Carter Kieboom, I don't even consider this as a safety valve. I just consider this as a guy that I think the Guardians are picking up here to say, okay, let's see if you still got it. And if he still gets it, I bet you they're going to find a role for him at the big league club, whether it's if Gabby Arias decides to suck, if Brian Rocchio is going to take June through September off again. We'll see. But personally, I love this pickup because I love pickups that are high value, yet no risk. There's no risk with this because you have your solution at third base for the rest of his days. If Carter Kieboom doesn't work, that's all right. You move on to developing the next guy. But it's a guy with experience. It's a guy who's played in Major League Baseball before, and he continues what he did in the minors last year. Taven, start with you. I love it.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like you said, a guy who hit 319 in the minor leagues last year.
In AAA.
Yeah, that's pretty freaky good. Like you said, though, I mean, a guy that there's really no risk. You got him dirt cheap, in a sense that you're not going to pay him anything. And like you said, I mean, you have your solution there with Jose Ramirez. There's no, look, you're not throwing this guy in to hopefully be your everyday starter. This is a pickup to where if he produces, he's able to play pretty much wherever in that infield, and he's a safety net, in my opinion. Yeah, I really like it. I mean, I've seen what this guy's done with Washington. I think the ceiling's been pretty high. I know he's very highly thought of. And I mean, you go back to, you look at your minor leagues outside of Travis Bazzana, there's not really a highly thought of prospect that could play that infield, especially at the start of the season. Obviously, you have Angel Hanao, but he ended the season last year AA. He's still got a long ways to go in AAA. Outside of Travis Bazzana, there's really nobody. Juan Brito, we don't know if he's going to be healthy or able to stay healthy still. So a lot of question marks around there. I think Kieboom, he fits in nice. So I really like the pickup.
Ethan, before you go, I will just tack on to Taven's point as I usually do. His career batting average in the minors, mind you, 283 average with an 818 OPS. That's over his career.
Well, I'm going to be OPO'd, old pissed off guy at the no, just kidding. No, I was just going to comment on the 283 average as a whole in his minor league career. That's good. I like that. That seems like consistency there. I mean, but wait a second. Am I reading this right? Am I reading this right?
Right.
You know what I'm going to, right?
Pull it up, baby. Let's do it. What are you reading?
518 strikeouts.
Well, you unfortunately are reading that right.
35 bases. No, that was wait. No, I'm sorry. Walks. 298. I mean, 518 in how many at bats? Let's see. 22,251. So he's about almost 25% of the time, almost give or take, striking out 25% of the time. But if he goes, let's say he goes 1 for 4, and one of his outs is a strikeout. All right, I'll take it. If he's got some pop in his bat, if he can do anything, find a place for him. Let's go. I'm not, like I said, low risk, high reward type of thing. Let's go.
Other places, Taven, I'll let you answer the question first on, do you think this is the guy that we possibly could see play in Cleveland this year? And while you do that, I'm going to find out where else he's played besides third base, because we know he ain't playing there. Or if he does, he's going to be a Will Wilson. And when Jose DHs on Sunday, then he'll fill in at third.
Well, I mean, that was my exact point. I mean, we saw Will Wilson got time last year. I think we can see this guy get time this year, right? I think, obviously, you don't hope it happens ever, but there's going to be injuries, right? That's just sports. That's the way things go.
I swear to you, dude, we come back here in like 6 weeks and something happens with my baby King. I'm going to fight you.
We've seen Brito go down. I mean, we've seen all these other guys, and we've seen guys struggle too, like Rocchio last year. He was sent down. Who's to say Arias doesn't struggle this year, or somebody of that nature, right? There's always going to be a spot in baseball. If you're playing, you're going to play. And I think if Kieboom hits over 260, 265, I think he's going to have a spot somewhere. Is he going to be an everyday starter at first? No, I think he's going to be a utility guy such as Will Wilson or even my boy Schneemann. But I mean, I think he's going to fit in somewhere. And, if you're producing, then you're going to play.
So here's the weird caveat with Kieboom. Throughout his minor league career, he's listed as a third baseman. Okay, that's because that's what he's played recently. Most of his minor league career, especially early on, came from the shortstop position. But that was early on. Fellas, he hasn't played shortstop in the minors or maybe even at the major league level since 2019.
Wow.
So, I mean, I know the saying, you're trying to teach an old dog new tricks. This might be you're trying to teach a fairly middle-aged dog the tricks that he learned when he was a pup and you haven't practiced forever.
Look, he's got the experience there. I don't see it as a problem. I was actually just going to ask, at some point we talked about Gabby Arias and we go back to the minors and we talk about Travis Bazzana. Is there this possibility that at some point Bazzana, are we going Bazzana or are we going Bazzana? Bazzana. All right. I want to get it right. I don't want to be that guy. So Bazzana, if he gets called up, is it potentially somebody getting moved over? Like if you like Rocchio more than you like, Arias, do you move Rocchio over to short?
I mean, coming up through the minor leagues, Rocchio was primarily a shortstop.
Okay. Yeah. And he was shortstop with Hemi.
right?
When Hemi was here. So
and then last year they kind of switched it mid-season when Rocchio came back. It got really weird how they just flipped it.
I mean, I believe a guy like that, though, he can play both easily, just like Hemi could. I just think it's whatever, you prefer, and then you build off of that.
Hey, whatever works. I think that this is a team that, because, I don't know about other organizations and how well they are able to develop guys. And again, I'm harsh about the hitting aspect. But I feel like generally we have pretty defensively sound and formidable teams out there. Well, they play well in the field. They do some of the fundamentals right. Obviously, we ran into some problems in the playoffs last year, but especially in the center field. But that being said, usually we do stick to the fundamentals. So as long as somebody comes in who can do the fundamental things and maybe provide some spark, hey, I'm all for it. Sounds like a good plan to me, my man.
Kaboom, by the way, has also played a lot of first base recently because he's built like 161, 221. He is a righty, so that's the only downside to him being at first base. Normally you like a lefty over there. However, could be worse.
Hey, look, if you're a true baseball player, I don't give a flying rat's patoozie what if you're right-handed, left-handed, whatever it is, okay? Let's go. Let's get out there. Let's do some dirty work. Let's hit the ball. Let's field it. Let's roll. You show me the most talented player, and I want him out there. Too much analytics.
Well, all 5 guys that we've talked about here, I mean, fellas, I think do have a legitimate chance to try to get into this major league organization. Obviously, Pedro Avila has been there before, but again, all the guys that we just went and talked about, they got themselves a really good shot to try to get in there to that room. Other guys that are new to this organization, I mean, yeah, we could go down the list of guys that either don't have a jersey number yet, guys that are going to end up being new, but again, we don't know where they're going to be. We haven't seen them yet, so on and so forth. Guys are going to get called up from the ACL squad, so yeah, so on and so forth. So I think we just move right on into the next topic because those are the 4 to 5 guys I really wanted to hit on today. Yeah. What are we expecting from spring training? Hold that thought. Think about it for a second, because I do want to say on POTL, I know the entirety of the Baseball Banter broadcast is going to be doing a ton with the World Baseball Classic. And I cannot wait to be covering the World Baseball Classic. I can't wait to watch the World Baseball Classic. I can't wait to scream Trey Turner for president again. Now, we'll see what Guardians get on rosters. I know, of course, Jose Ramirez is going to go play for the DR, and that's the only one that I know of currently. I would bet you there are probably more. Like some guys are going to go play for Venezuela. I think we got a couple on this roster, but we're going to save all that for a later pod down the line here in a week or 2, maybe 3, once this thing inches closer. Fellas, we are right around a month away from the opening of the 2026 World Baseball Classic. So that should be a fun preview. Maybe, who knows, we can find a time to jump in with a bunch more of the crew and talk about stuff. That would be stupid fun. If not, hey, you can count on us 3 being here at the very least to talk about things. We all going for the Stars and Stripes, or are we diverging away?
I'm kind of weird. I want Puerto Rico. I like it a lot. I like them a lot.
That's fine. I mean, I know people that root for root for Germany in the World Cup, so it's fine.
Yeah.
You also root for Arsenal, so I don't take your word for much. No, I mean, I gotta say, guys, I don't get that much into the World Baseball Classic. Maybe I guess I'm gonna have to now. You're forcing my hand.
You're locked in, buddy.
I'm gonna have to.
You signed the contract.
Apparently, I did, and no, I think that obviously I will stay true to the colors, as it were, and root on Team USA. But ultimately, I take this other perspective of it, and we talked about it. I worry about the World Baseball Classic and things of that nature as potentials for injury, potentials for guys to wear themselves out If some, you know what I'm saying? Like that's my concern as a Cleveland Guardians fan. And that's where I get concerned. And so I'm always like, on pins and needles and whatnot. I mean, wasn't it in the NBA? Wasn't it Taven, Nate, you might remember, didn't Paul George suffer that injury in like a Team USA game?
Yeah.
I think
before the Olympics.
Let's not forget, I want to say
first game of the Olympics.
It was either the first game of the Olympics and a qualifying.
But yes.
So
yeah, I mean, wasn't it? I want to say the last World Baseball Classic. Didn't Edwin Diaz go down with the season-ending injury? I want to say it wasn't even playing though; it was the celebration after the game.
Yep.
So I mean, that's just
sad.
That's just another thing. Like, obviously, you worry about the injuries, right? But that's right around the same time as spring training games. So who's to say an injury might not happen in a spring training game? So I mean, it's not football where it's physical, right? And obviously preseason, you don't play your starters and obviously things of that nature. Guys are going to play. Guys are going to go through the same motions, whether that's in, Miami playing against an all-star team from another country, or that's, in Arizona playing against, some AAAers. So I think injuries are just part of the game. I don't personally think it matters on where you play at and which one. That's just personally my opinion.
Fair point. No, that's a very valid and fair point. It's, as you said, it's kind of in lieu of the spring training games. So let's just hope that everybody comes out of there healthy, wealthy, and wise, as someone might have said sometime, and that in fact the injury bug doesn't bite the Gardos, and we can stay healthy. We got to get some luck. Can we get some Lake Erie luck? Not Lake Effect Snow, though.
My little insight to the World Baseball Classic. Why not? I'll share this now, and I'll probably share it again when we preview the dang thing. Wearing your country, to me, will always mean more than wearing a logo. Wearing the stars and stripes, and I know it doesn't get talked about enough, but wearing the red, white, and blue, or wearing the Japanese colors, or the Mexican flag, or the Venezuelan flag, or whatever country nationality it is that you are going to play for, to me, and not that I will ever be on any national team anywhere, but to me, that means more than playing for the Guardians, the White Sox, the Royals, the Yankees, the Mets. And I know that there are going to be a lot of people that fight me on that and disagree. There are 30 teams in the country. There's one country. You are the best of the best. You are competing against the best in the world for the world title. I know, NBA, they're world champions. They're the champions of the region. That's my, I guess, hot take for the day. I don't think NBA champs are world champs. Would they probably be any other team in the world? Yeah, probably. But it's not the USA. That's what determines a world championship. So I'm all for the WBC. I love watching the countries go after it. It just feels like a new dynamic. And if, by the way, you want to watch someone in a league and an organization and a sport do the world championship, world tournament thing right, it's hockey, baby. Hockey does it right.
Hockey is now I'm happy about talk about international events and we talk about the Olympics. I'm excited for the hockey. Hopefully the U.S. can finally be in contention for
hopefully
a medal.
The ice is actually up to standard.
Oh God, yeah. Oh boy, yeah. I don't even want to.
Not a hockey show, but
all right. No, that's fair enough. We'll have to get into that, won't we now?
Oh, yeah. Okay, biggest thing that we are all watching for spring training. I don't know if I even want to set a time limit because I don't think any of us will follow it. So, Taven, let's just go ahead and start with you. You could talk about a player, you talk about coach, you could talk about anything you want. What's the biggest thing that you're looking for in spring training?
So for me personally, I think it's that outfield battle, right? I think it's going to be, can Valera and DeLauder, can they develop into what we think? Because I think that's going to be your ideal outfield by the end of the year or the start of the year when it's all said and done. You're going to have obviously Quan left. That's going to be your guy until he gets traded or he hits free agency. In my opinion, I think that's obviously going to be the dude. I think you go DeLauder and right, Valera in center. Yep. That's personally what I would do. Obviously, you're going to have Angel Martinez in the mix of that. I think those are going to be your 4 solidified guys. I do not want Nolan Jones anywhere near the outfield, but that's
he'll be on the SpaceX flight.
Well, and here's the thing, to interrupt your point. I mean, Nolan Jones is a guy that there are serious conversations, and I'm not like joking when I say this either. I'm not like he's bad, let's get him on. No, I'm talking like there are serious conversations. He might start in Columbus because other guys beat him out.
That's good. Yes, there's no jokes about that. That is where he should start, and you shouldn't have probably re-signed him, but here we are.
Again, safety valve.
Yeah, I would say that's the number one thing. Get your outfield locked down, because I think that was the biggest question mark last year. Other than that, I really think the starting pitching is going to be interesting to watch. Is Bibee going to be able to get back to what he was? Obviously, last year he had the down year. There were definitely sparks of what he was, but, got to get Bibee back to where he was in 24. Messick, watching him develop, that's going to be big. Watching the other young guys, and then can Gavin Williams sustain what he did last year and be that workhorse and that ace of this rotation? I think those are the 2 biggest things that I'm going to be watching. A, that outfield, and then B, that starting rotation, if they're going to be able to hold it down.
I think I know what Ethan's watching, but I want to hear it anyway.
No, actually, I don't think you do. I think I'm going to come out. I think no.
Throw me a metaphorical curveball.
What is David Fry going to be? How is he going to impact the lineup? Is he going to be able to, is he going to be back to playing in the field? I believe he should be able to.
So what I've heard is he is going to be focusing on pretty much catching only.
That's perfect, because I want him and Hedges. And you can, and by process of elimination, you know who I don't want. I'm sorry, Bo Naylor, get a nailer gun and go out and work and build some houses, because I'm not happy with you, sir. I need to see consistent hitting. I mean, we haven't had a hitter since Yan Gomes or Vic the Stick.
Yan Gomes, probably.
I mean, whoever.
Consistently reliable, Yan Gomes.
Yeah, I mean, this is crazy, dude. Seriously. Or go work out with Albert Bell some more, because you seem to improve by the end of the season. We have got to have someone who can reliably hit. And I also think that we need a good Hedges is valuable as a defensive catcher. Very valuable. So, anyway, but that's where I'm going.
I think I'm watching some of these young guys that you might not think that you're going to see in the major leagues this year that I think can make a run. And I'm talking about guys like Ralphie Velasquez. I think that obviously is a guy that has to come to mind. We talk about a guy who nobody just did more for his prospect ranking. Look, you got Cooper Engel in the catcher system. You have Cody Huff in Columbus. I'm watching Jacob Cozart. I think that's another guy.
Who did you say? Bernie Kosar? What?
Jacob Cozart.
Oh, I thought you said Kosar. I heard Kosar. And sorry, my bad.
I think that's a guy that can shoot up the rankings. I think Jogly Garcia is a pitcher that can absolutely shoot up the rankings. Same thing with the guy that they call Tugboat and Matt Wilkinson. I think he can shoot up those rankings as well, even though I think it's more than likely going to be a slow build. And then Tommy Hawk, Jason Churio, these are guys that I feel like, watching them play, looking at their stats, are guys that can absolutely explode. Now, you want some dark horses in some of these guys. Okay, let's go ahead and start with the guy in Columbus that, you may not think off the top of your head, oh, okay, I could see him getting major league time. And Taven's not going to like this one. Jack Leftwich. You would think I'm joking. The date does not say April 1st. I think
No
there's a
chance.
legitimate chance.
No.
I think there is a legitimate chance. And again, I'm not going to talk about like Bazan or any of that. We've talked about this guy before, but nobody else is. Milan Tolentino.
Yeah.
I'd be very curious to see what he does. You want to go down to the current roster in Akron? Let's grab a pitcher, shall we?
Can we get? I want a pitcher, not a belly itcher, and I want a catcher, not a belly scratcher.
Catchers, I'll tell you right now, they're going to be Jacob Kozar, they're going to be Cooper Engel, they're going to be Cody Huff. But how about Cal Steffen? The return for Shane Bieber last year. Guy got hurt. Let's bring that name back up there, shall we? Christian Knapsick got that promotion to act. I mean, look, there are so many guys because this prospect system is so deep. I've just named off a ton of them that I feel like, look, man, you have a good spring training. We're probably going to start you in an organization that is higher than what most of the fan base feels like you belong at right now. And I mean, I'm especially looking at Ralphie Velasquez. Look, the guy started in Lake County last year. Right now is currently on the Akron roster. He could start in Columbus. I mean, he shot his way up to top 5 in the organization. Believe it was might have even been your MVP there, Taven. I know it was my most improved player. Guy's absolutely fantastic. So, as is the nature of the podcast, I am watching the prospects. And I'm watching for those diamonds in the rough. I'm watching the guys that you haven't heard much about. Nobody's really looking at to make an immediate impact. But I'm looking at those guys because those are the guys that Cleveland often brings up. And they're the guys that Cleveland loves, especially on the pitching standpoint. But from a hitting standpoint, it seems like every year we talk about 2 to 3 guys that like, all right, this guy, bam, definitely going to make. And then it's 4 to 5 other guys behind them, way behind them, that end up making their major league debuts. So was not the case last season for the most part, maybe outside of Angel Martinez. But other than that, I mean, I really like this prospect farm. I really like this system. And that's what spring training is about to me. Obviously, you want to see who makes the roster and whatnot, but it's about improving that draft stock. And I know spring training does not always correlate to good results during the season because other teams are mix matching. You're not really in a true system yet, whatever. I mean, I'm really watching for just development, right? Stats, throw them all away. I don't care. It's development. It's, are you working on the little things? Are you making improvements to your game based off of last season? That's what separates who works out in Major League Baseball or not. Long-winded answer to basically say, I'm watching the entire farm system, which I know sounds like a cop-out answer because duh, that's what spring training is for. But I'm watching the guys that nobody's talking about. How's that?
Yeah, I think perfect. I mean, literally every single one of those guys you named, with the exception of one, they've got an opportunity to go out there and do something this year, right? Obviously, they got that chance to, I mean, even go to the major leagues for some of them, like even a Cal Steffen, if he really has a great season. We see that guy at the end of the year. So, like you said, I mean, we're always talking about one guy that we expect to be there. I think last year it was Juan Brito. Couple injuries hit him, and then 3 or 4 guys shoot up above him. So that's just the fun thing about this, farm system. And not to, discredit Juan Brito, but I mean, once 4 or 5 guys shoot, I mean, that guy's still where he was. Juan Brito, still very, very talented. It's going to be fun. We got a lot of guys in a lot of spots, a lot of opportunity. So that's what spring training's about.
Well, you said Juan Brito and I got hungry. I thought of a burrito, but that's a different story there. Look, I'm just seeing this post, guys. My dad used to always talk about this, such and such days till spring training, such as the countdown there, big baseball guy. But I'm seeing from a post from Nick Camino from WKYC in Cleveland saying the Guardians equipment trucks depart for Goodyear, Arizona, and spring training on Thursday.
Woo! Oh, baby, it feels so good. 15 days, I'm pretty sure, before pitchers and catchers report. 15 days. Do I have that right? Jeremy's probably going to fact check me. That's okay. I'll get it right. I'll get it wrong. Whatever it is. 15 is the number I got in my head. So we'll wait for that correction. Otherwise, I mean, Guardians' schedule is out. Gone are the days of the June-July gauntlet that always seems to plague this team. I mean, those days are over. Yet when I look through the schedule today, I still saw no Sunday Night Baseball. And I know it's changing networks, but it still bothers me.
Yeah, nothing really I saw going through the schedule. I saw we open with the Cubs. That's different. It's finally not a Tigers or a Royals opening day.
I know.
So Cubs is interesting.
Mariners and Cubs on the road. First 2 series.
Good.
Is it? Wait. Mariners.
Cubs on the. Oh no! Sorry.
Cubs are the home opener.
Yes. Cubs are the home series.
Yeah, we play somebody else good on the road. We have a
Seattle. It's always Seattle. I'm willing to bet money.
Seattle's our opener. Oh, all right. Yeah, there we go.
Are we playing the Dodgers?
Yeah.
That's not a great start. But I'm excited about the home opener and that opening series against the Cubbies at Progressive. Hopefully the weather holds up. Hopefully we shut their fans out and don't let them overtake the stinking stadium because that's disgraceful.
I have never shown up for an opening day in Cleveland, because I haven't lived there. We might try this year. Home opener is Friday,
April 3rd, 4:10, and wow. You know what? That's somebody's birthday around here.
Yeah. Whoa.
There we go.
I'm thinking, I'm working with some folks who are my fellow April birthdays about maybe hitting it up. I got to go. My dad took my brother and I to an opening day at the old stadium. It was in 89.
Have we released? Oh, we have released ticket prices for that yet. Well, it's going to cost you.
No,
I gotta tell you.
No, they're all gonna laugh at you. The
cheapest ticket is $128.
Oh, wait a second. Wait, who's that talking to me?
I do not have the money. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that sucks.
Well, we are part of the Baseball Banter podcast group. I think we should have some sway here.
Yeah. I fully believe that. Actually,
sir,
though. All jokes aside,
the two of you need to be getting media passes and credentials.
Well, all jokes aside, actually, we usually, from what I hear from my owner, we usually have Chris Rosenhaus visit the station every year. Hasn't done it yet this year, so.
Oh, nice.
It used to be Tom Hamilton, but now Tom is doing.
Did you say Chris, or do you mean Jim?
Or Jim. Yeah, sorry. I don't know why I had Chris in my head.
I don't know. You must have been. There's a guy. His name is Chris Collins.
No, I probably had Chris Rosenbaum or something like that.
Oh, that guy too. What do you think about the Super Bowl? We're gonna have Chris Collinsworth. I know people hate him, but I love it because Pittsburgh fans hate him, so I love it.
Hey, Jeremy, I tickets are always in the budget. All right, you work some stuff around if you need to. Tickets are always in the budget. You buy first, you think later. That's what baseball's about.
It's true.
I'm worried about the concessions, quite frankly.
Do as I do, not as I say. That's my PSA. Look at that. Do we have any final thoughts on the Guardians? I mean, I'm good to wrap the show up there. A good 80 minutes of content. Jose Ramirez, some nice players coming in here. Spring training right around the corner. We're thriving.
We are. We're close. We're real close.
So close, please.
Well, we might need it. Let me just say this. We may very well need the Guardians more than ever if our other Cleveland team, the Cavs, doesn't start doing something good and they don't start turning it around. Because that springtime, that time of season, we're starting to play. The NBA playoffs are coming around, and if the Cavs are stinking up the joint, people are going to be looking for some kind of a reprieve. We know that the football team is an absolute disaster, and it's made a mockery of by everybody nationally. So I think at least the Guardians deserve respectability, despite what people, despite the gripes about the ownership and the money. We need some good baseball around here. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm all for good baseball, always, forever and always. Well, Ethan, we'll round it out here. We all do a lot in the media realm. The Baseball Banter broadcast, Prospects of the Land, just one of the very, very plethora amount of things. That was not proper grammar. grammar, whatever. We'll go with it. That wasn't proper grammar. We're just gonna roll with it. We're live. Anything
Was it
happens.
country grammar?
Yeah.
Are you old enough? Are you old
Country
enough?
grammar.
Are you old enough to know what I'm referring to when I say is that country grammar?
Probably not, but I'm gonna pretend like I am. So
Oh,
Ethan,
come on, man, get your Nelly album out, man.
I'm trying. Look, man, I'm trying to find one. I'm trying.
All right. Oh, good. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's a classic.
It is a classic. Where can the people find you?
All right. Well, you can follow me on my social media on Twitter. I refuse to call it X at egreen4325. If you're a Cleveland basketball fan, you know what those numbers are. But yeah, you can follow me there to get all the notifications of where I will be found. I've got the Going Nuclear podcast that's part of Collectin' and Connectin', a good vibes community. Also, I've got I participate in and co-host the Let's Go Crunch podcast. And that is part of the Land Media Group. So I'm busy with that. And plus I got my play-by-play with the Randolph-Macon College women's basketball. And I try to post clips there as often as I possible I keep busy. I keep busy, guys.
We all keep busy. Taven, what about you, sir? We are what, a month away from high school baseball opening day? Is that right?
Crazy. Yeah, or about 2 months, I think. March
about 2 months.
20th.
Okay,
March
never mind.
20th. Yeah,
Other way.
still coming
Other
up
way.
close. Got about 3 weeks left of high school basketball though until postseason
Dude,
kicks in.
This season's
Got a lot of
fun,
good. Got a lot of good teams around here at Stark Sports coverage for everything on that. You got 4 big powerhouses in Stark County this year. You got McKinley, they're 12-2. Alliance, they're 14-2. Massillon, 11-1, and Hoover is 11-4. All 4 of those teams, all in the top 25 teams in all of Ohio. As rankings dropped, I want to say last week on that. So yeah, got a lot of good teams, and who knows? You might have a team like the Perry Panthers go on and make a run here in about a month. So saw that last year, number 15 seed, and a little 9-13 team goes to the state championship. Who knows? Could see that again.
Could see that again. You can follow me at this handle right down here at Tailgate829. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and wherever else you like to frequent and browse through the social medias. Also on YouTube. YouTube channel's taken a bit of a break just because college football season is done, underway. How about the Hoosiers, by the way? I mean, incredible, unbelievable story. But we're going to be posting a lot of content over there. We'll go through the transfer portal. We'll go through coaching hires. We'll do all that. So you like college football, go follow me over on the YouTubes, especially if you are watching on YouTube right now. You're already on the app. Might as well go subscribe. That's my very, very, oh my goodness, I can't think of the word. That's just go do it if you want it. Otherwise, peakofohio.com. And you can listen to all of my work on the radio stations. You can listen to me call sports on Peak of Ohio TV and just watch me have fun. That's what I do. I just have fun.
There it is.
Whoop.
Taven, as per usual, you are the brain behind the operation. So you got to see how many people were on here today. We already know a couple. What did we do today?
Yeah, appreciate all 27 views.
Hey, not bad.
Sticking with us, a little Monday, a little impromptu show, right? Little started up, but yeah, appreciate everybody sticking with us, and we're close to baseball season.
Oh, we're so close. Hey, back in 2 weeks, by the way, back in 2 weeks, I'm off next week, fellas. I am in need of some very, very, very well-deserved days off.
Yeah. Did you just hear him say that? He said, I need some well-deserved. I think the bosses at the station are well-deserved. This guy. Oh, what are you talking about? I'm just kidding, guys.
I don't know that they're watching, but you know what? In case that they are, that they know what's happening. I've said too much.
You have said too much.
Taven, get us out of here. Send us home.
All right. Well, we appreciate all 27 of you sticking with us. And as always, we'll see you next time. Everybody take care.